So, with the release of the new Slender Man movie, I thought, why not go back in time and take a look at some other films about the creature that have been released over the years to see if we can find a film better than that one. Hopefully, we'll find something good or interesting, right? Let's begin by examining The Slender Man from 2013. This film was financed through Kickstarter and reached over $10,000 in its run. The film was subsequently released on YouTube for free in its entirety, and if you take a look at the credits, the filmmakers even encouraged people to share the movie around wherever they want to, which I suppose is admirable. I mean, technically the film wasn't free for those who decided to back it, but it is free for everyone else. It's always a gamble backing independent projects like this one. There's always a chance that Kickstarters or films like these fall through and never come to fruition if the filmmakers are too inexperienced or too ambitious. So in this case, at least the filmmakers were able to finish it. Which should be the standard for any Kickstarter, mind you. It was smart of the creators to go down the low-budget found footage route, as I'm still firmly unconvinced that Slendy would work in a sterile big-budget setting. Will this film be better than the crappy recent one? Well, why don't we press play and find out. This is The Slender Man. The film starts abruptly with what seems to be a father playing baseball with his son on a sunny day. I wonder what will happen next. The two seem to be having a good time, and it is cute enough.
Oh, it's a ground ball!
The son runs into the woods to get the ball but doesn't return, and then... oh, we cut to the next scene. I for sure thought we'd be getting a glimpse at Slender Man, but I guess we're saving his terror for later? Nice opening credits, by the way. They're absolutely not hard to make out at all, no. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped as hell for this movie now. After the credits, we are introduced to our two lovely main characters, Chase and Emma Anders. Two siblings who are on their way to their father's funeral, and we are treated to some real edgy bickering between the two.
I'm not leaving it in the car.
Hey, you said you weren't
No,
gonna...
you have to let me take it.
No, if it isn't your binky and it isn't a beer bottle.
No, you know what? Fuck you, Chase. I'm taking it.
Now, Emma here is a total dedicated workaholic, and has decided that for class, she's gonna focus on making a documentary about her father's death. Interesting choice. Obviously, things will not go the way she is expecting. Later on, she decides to look through her father's old computer, as the man seemed to have been researching missing children's reports shortly before he died. She finds the super secret Slender Man folder. Looks like she's found a new subject to make her documentary about, and will research this mysterious case further. Then, wait, now we're following some guy named Hank? With the best audio equipment possible?
Hey! Answer me!
Ooh, seriously, invest in a better microphone. Is this a file Emma found on the computer? That's what the editing seems to imply, but no, we're just supposed to gather that we've completely switched perspectives all of a sudden. Well. It looks like Hank has kidnapped a young girl and is leading her up to what seems to be an abandoned shed or something in the middle of the night. Great, that's one way to throw authenticity out of the window immediately. Add a soundtrack in the background, because that's realistic. Well, that kid's toast. At least Hank seems to feel kinda bad about it. He messes around for a bit around the house, as Slendy messes with the camera some more and... leaves a note? Hank's screaming scares me more than anything else in this scene.
Fuck you!
Ooh, that's loud. I hope things won't get worse on that front. So now... what? Now we're following some guy named Kyle? Hey Kyle, good to meet you. Yes, thank you for showing me this, Kyle. This is definitely necessary. I mean, stuff like this is usual for found footage films to make them seem more real in a sense, but here it just drags the pacing down to a halt. Anyhow, it turns out Kyle is a private detective who has an interview booked with a lady who is relevant to a current case he's researching. Of course, it turns out the case involves the young girl who we just saw being sacrificed, who seemed to have been affected by our favorite mythological creature before she disappeared. We follow Kyle's investigation further as he interviews more people, including the mother of the child who went missing in the beginning of the film. It turns out the father of that child was Hank, the same guy who just sacrificed the young girl. Now, the mother seems to believe that Hank falsified the footage of his son's disappearance, because obviously, there's no such thing as a boogeyman. as the soundtrack overbears the entire scene, taking away from the believability of it and the performance of the actress.
No, maybe you blacked out. It only takes a few seconds for someone to come up and grab a kid under the arms and then disappear.
Great. Oh, now we're back with our favorite siblings. Are you guys keeping up with this? I'm barely doing that.
Slender Man.
I don't know any Slendermans.
Brilliant. Holy shit, this dialogue. It's painful.
Look at that. There.
It's a hoax. People have Photoshop, MS Paint. If you want to get freaking Jennifer Aniston getting double teamed, I guarantee you that exists.
Yeah, but this isn't Jennifer Aniston getting double teamed, Chase.
The two then decide that their best bet in furthering their research is to call Kyle, the guy who has seemingly been investigating the missing children who have been taken by Slendy for years. But then, we hear a bump outside.
Yeah, Paul.
The two look outside, see nothing, and then... Ooh, Slender Man's behind the woman! Oh, next scene? Did that go... anywhere?
Humor me for half an hour? You bitch more than anyone I know, I swear to God.
These guys bicker so much it's insufferable. Are we supposed to find these characters endearing?
He's gone.
Well, that was necessary. Anyways, they finally call Kyle before we cut back to Hank, who seems to be, filming stuff and setting up cameras in his house. Are we Paranormal Activity now? I swear, this film keeps jumping between perspectives so much that it becomes needlessly confusing and muddled, and it keeps us from growing attached to any scene. Still, the pacing finds a way to suck the life out of you somehow because there is so much useless shit being shown to us. Why do we need to see Hank driving around everywhere?
Hey.
Oh, holy shit, Hank, what are you... Wait a minute, is that the cameraman's finger in the frame? What the fuck, why not just crop the frame? Did no one in the editing process notice that? Anyways, Hank, shame on you. Yeah, you better feel bad for the shit you're pulling. Huh, we also see Slender Man's reflection on the TV here. That's an interesting shot at least. As it turns out, Hank is giving kids up to Slendy in order to try and get his own child Danny back, which makes sense I guess. I don't know how he made this deal with the silent monster, but whatever, let's just go with it. An interesting detail in this scene is that while Hank questions the child he kidnapped, this happens.
What's your name?
Danny. Danny, sir. Please don't hurt my mom and dad.
No, Danny, they're going to be just fine.
See, the kid here shares the same name as Hank's missing kid, and so for a moment, he's stuck in his tracks. That's actually a nice touch, I gotta say. Hank attempts to do the same thing he did earlier in the film, but this time, things don't go the way he wants them to. Run, Danny! Run! Oh, never mind, there you are. I guess no one can truly escape from the tall man's grasp, eh? Oh, looks like a new note has been left, and... What? Someone has carved a message into this tree stump. Did Slendy do this? Does he possess the ability to carve human words into trees? Chase and... Oh, that's our guy! Oh no! Due to this new clue, Hank finds out where the siblings live and... Oh geez, we see the obituary for the father, and I guess the filmmakers thought no one would bother to pause and read it, huh? Passed away late week after the publication and he went backpacking. He started to becoming and but failed. Yeah, the filmmakers and but failed, alright. Wow, a silent car! Hank then decides to sneak a peek at Chase and Emma, and we find out that he was the cause of the bump earlier in the film.
But I'm not sure if this is necessarily something.
Those walls are not very soundproof. Before he leaves, Hank decides to drop a note in their mailbox ensuring that they get his message.
Said I hope you got my note, bitch. Hey, I left it on the suicide note, bitch. Yeah.
And while on a phone call with Kyle, Emma finds the note beckoning them to come to a certain address that night. How about you don't do that? Even Kyle tells them not to go there and to meet up with him instead. He's a private investigator, so I'm pretty sure you guys can trust him. More driving! What is this, Birdemic? Anyways, the siblings get out and get ready to meet Wait. No, what the fuck? Why did they go to the address that some random stalker left on the shady fucking note they got all on their own with no backup and not the private investigator who they agreed to see the same night? Why the— Oh great, now you've been stabbed, dumbass. It's a good thing I don't give a shit about either one of you two. And we're back with Kyle. What's he up to?
Where they were talking about this ancient being that could like come into this world.
Well, getting heavy exposition dumps by this woman, of course.
So Dr. West was talking to him about the Slender Man, but they called it Der Grobman.
Oh no. This woman doesn't know her German very well.
Der Grobman.
Der Großmann.
Der Grobman.
Das ist nicht gut. Time for our hero Kyle to piece together all the evidence. Look at him recording the screen of what he's already recovered previously. I guess Chase, the brother of Emma, was kidnapped by Slendy 18 years ago, but was returned to the world because his father did exactly what Hank is doing today? Did Chase just conveniently forget being kidnapped? Did Slendy give him amnesia? Ugh, now we're back with Hank, and I gotta say, this idea of having multiple perspectives all playing out at the same time, it's not working out in this movie. It's so messy and hard to follow. Anyway, Slendy appears in front of him and does... Then we see the siblings enter the house through Hank's perspective. How convenient that Hank set up cameras earlier then. Now, the two are surely done for. What a predicament. Let's see what Emma has to say for hers. Oh! Holy shit. Invest in a better microphone immediately. This film is an actual hazard to your eardrums. You idiots, what did you think was gonna happen coming here? Sunshine and rainbows? Of course, Hank shows up and gives us his evil, mustache-twirling villain monologue and... Oh, fuck off with the screaming!
Damn it, Emma. Damn kids.
Great delivery there. Oh man, Kyle has shown up to save the day, and I don't care. Oh wow, is this an FPS now? Awesome. Yeah, that doorbell sound effect was definitely not added in post. Where the fuck with the screaming?
Chase, wake up, Chase.
Oh, it's a good thing you didn't search them.
Come out slowly and keep your hands in the air.
Yeah, go get him, Kyle. Hey, wait, Master Detective, maybe keep your distance from this creepy weirdo? As Kyle apprehends the crazed lunatic, the siblings make their daring escape. And I gotta say, the soundtrack for this film just robs it of any believability it could have had. It just takes you out of the immersion immediately because you know that it was added in after the fact. It doesn't add to the atmosphere, it actively takes it away. Wow, Kyle, you suck. As Chase and Emma make their way through the woods, Wait, why would you enter a cramped, secluded indoor area when you have the open woods to hide in? Oh, I guess it's so we can have this crazy little sequence. Wait a minute, is that the Black Ops 1 shotgun sound effect? Whoa, okay, that caught me off guard. You got me there, movie. We cut back to Kyle, who is trying to find the two and...
Emma!
Yes, Master Detective, reveal your position. Ooh, Garbaglook, Slendy messes with the camera because... why? Anyways, it is time for the final boss battle. Here we are. Kyle, the incompetent detective, versus Hank, the alcoholic child kidnapper. Here we go. Oh, it's over. Is that another COD sound effect? And with that, Hank is done for. And his vision never comes to be. Now, where could the siblings be? Oh, there they are. Finally, Slender Man catches up with them, and Chase is taken away once more. Like I said, I guess you can never truly escape his grasp. At last, Emma and Kyle are brought together, and the two quietly make their way back to his car and leave all this crazy Slender Man business behind them. Or do they? Yeah, I'm just waiting for the final twist or whatever. My patience with this film is at rock bottom. He's gonna pop up in front of the car and crash it or something, right? Wait, what the? We're in a Skype call now? What? What is this shit? Yeah, that's one way to take away any tension the previous scene had. I swear, if they pull the final scare now, which all of these shitty horror films do, then it would just not work.
Do you guys know that if you shave your feet, you can actually reduce foot odor?
Oh, fuck off, Tim. No one cares.
Hey, Emma. What's that in your closet back there?
Emma? Who's in there with you?
Emma.
Oh, fuck off, film. God, that was the worst way to end this movie possible. Nothing was resolved except for the bullshit with Hank. Whatever happened to Kyle, movie? Is that for the sequel? Wow, what a piece of shit. That ending absolutely ruined any goodwill I had with this movie. That came so out of left field, was so cheesy, and ruined everything accomplished so far. Did they just want their cool Skype ending? Is that why we got this absolute filth? Well, that was the Slender Man. That's 10,000 bucks for ya. So what did I think of that? Let me give you one word to describe this movie. Pointless. Nothing was gained and nothing was lost. This movie, it's nothing. It's an absolute waste of time and not worth watching at all. It's not even a good bad movie, it's just extremely boring. I know it's available for free, but that doesn't excuse it from criticism. I can see what the filmmakers were going for, having multiple storylines all coming together in the end to form a nice, neat little bow, but due to the strange way the film is edited, constantly jumping between timelines and characters and locations, it falls so very flat and just becomes tedious and dull very quickly. The movie is filled with subpar acting, lousy jump scares, shitty pacing, and a terrible script. Each character we meet is extremely one-note. Chase, the brother, for example, I have no words to uniquely describe him with. He's a nothing character, and so is Emma. None of these characters are worth talking about, except for Hank, maybe. At least he had an interesting plotline going, with him trying to get his son back at all costs. You know, I think that would have been a much more interesting film. Just focus on him and the terrible lengths he's going to attempt to get his son back. Show him evading police and finding out more and more info before finally succumbing either to Slender Man's influence or being defeated by his own madness. That would have been much more interesting than this. We have no reason to care about any of these guys. I am honestly struggling to find positives to say about this thing. I guess they had some interesting locations to shoot in. I guess Slender Man looked kind of cool considering the budget of the film. No, there's nothing to be discussed or talked about further when it comes to this movie. It's confined to its own little box, and there is nothing to be said about it. It begins and it ends, and that's it. There's no message to take away from it, nothing new was learned about Slendy, and no revelations were made at all. I won't even put the blame on budgetary limitations, as you are able to make much better films than this one with a $10,000 budget. I think this boils down to inexperience in the field of filmmaking and a shoddy, confused script that doesn't know what it's doing, so it just meanders around for 1 hour and 18 minutes until it can finally call it quits. What a mess. I do not recommend this film, and while I wish the filmmakers all the best in the future, as I do believe they wanted to make something good and entertaining here, this movie in particular is an absolute dud. The real question though is this. Is this movie better or worse than the recent 2018 film? My answer to that is that it's just slightly worse. While the shitty 2018 movie is bad, like really bad, at least it had some moments that are hilarious in their awfulness and a competent enough cast, some production values, and small inklings of redeemable qualities. Something this film lacks due to its limited budget and scope. It just left me face-palming throughout the majority of the runtime. However, something that I will give this film is this. It is a bit more humble than the big budget one in theaters, but that still doesn't make it more entertaining or interesting. It's just a big blob of nothing. At least I hope the Kickstarter backers were happy. And with that, my review of this film is complete. Next time, we'll be taking a look at Slender from 2016. Will it at the very least be better than this? Well, you'll find out. See you then! Thanks for watching everyone! Stay awesome. Goodbye.